Standings update after the first week. Never fails. Picks up right where he left off. 0-3 after victory lapping the fact that he took a bet from me. 0-3. I mean, what were the odds that the Bills lost and the Saints won with Tyler Shuck? Joe went 2-1, by the way, for anyone who's wondering. I went 2-1, so we're in pretty good footing. We have a nice little lead that's been built up with this this stretch of the season coming up.
It was a disgusting week of NFL football last weekend.
Bad week. It was a bad week.
Disgusting.
I will allow for you to pick first because of your obvious. You're obviously trailing me. So what do you want first?
Oh, thanks. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that for making it obvious for everybody in the back. Thanks. Okay. Let's just be grown-ups here this week. Can everybody in the NFL be grown-ups? Because if that happens, all three of my picks hit. That means I'm going first leg, grown-up leg, Texans 6.5 versus the Tennessee Titans. It's the Tennessee freaking Titans. They are god-awful. They are an abysmal squad. The Texans just had miracle game of the season with Davis Mills at quarterback against the Jags and ripped their hearts out. How happy was I when that happened? I was over the moon watching Liam Cohen throw a temper tantrum on the sidelines. It was tremendous theater. Maybe that is enough momentum, and I know this sounds crazy. Maybe this is enough momentum for them to beat the worst team in the league by 7 points. Is that possible? To knock off a fringe playoff team in the AFC a week before and then transition to beating the worst team in the league by a touchdown. I think Houston can do it.
I was debating taking this one. I have no qualms with it, nor do I have any support for it.
Gotcha.
This feels like because the
right
AFC,
place to be.
I mean, the AFC South is such a chaotic cesspool of nonsense at the current moment, and it feels like outside of the Colts, they just keep knocking each other around. And look, the one thing that's been a mainstay, consistent aspect of the AFC South is that the Titans have been terrible. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt there.
Please remain agnostic on my picks, please, and thank you. Don't get your stink on them.
Don't tell me what to do. My first pick, we're going to go Bears plus 2.5 against 9 against J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings on the road. Look, I know the Bears didn't look great for the first three quarters, and they kind of had to benefit from the fact that Shane Bowen's the worst fourth quarter defensive coordinator in the history of the NFL ever. I think that this Bears team is solid. I think that they run the ball really well. I think that this is an opportunity for JJ, for them to capitalize on JJ 9, as he's put it, to make a couple of mistakes, give him a short field, and to set up this Bears offense to punch it in, put points on the board. All we need is just to pull out a victory here. It's a close enough of a line. I think the Bears can win this.
You know, this is basically the game where if the Bears win, they're back. Like, this legitimizes the Bears in a lot of ways if they beat the Vikings.
And that's part of the reason why is I think that
that's why I'm staying.
Ben Johnson's a big narrative guy, though.
I know.
think that Ben Johnson's one of those guys that's like he's slowly. We're starting to see the version of him that wasn't really present with the Lions, where he's turning super hardo, like jacked up hardo, really focused on how everyone's talking about and focusing on the team, all of those things. I think that he's going to be paying attention to the narratives that come out of this.
That's just, I know. It's just the Bears are in a huge moment, and I don't want them to dry out. I hope the Bears are good. I hope this pick actually hits, because if the Bears are legit, that makes everything fun for the league. I just know when it's a high-pressure situation, that team has been known to let down. Let's talk about another team that lets down, and this is not an emotional hedge. This is a smart play. The Carolina Panthers getting 3.5 points versus Atlanta. Joe, have you seen what's been coming out of Flowery Branch this week? Well, the Atlanta Falcons have been so piss poor over their last 4 games that now quarterback Michael Penix Jr. has gone up to the podium and said, football isn't my whole life. It's not my identity.
Oh, I missed
I'm
this.
a man of God. He has officially turned broken quarterback it took 4. He has officially crossed the threshold from I'm Michael Penix with a cannon arm and I love dotting up all over the field to it's not my whole life, people. And I love God.
Wait, you know somebody's beaten down when it's like, I'm not playing well. Oh, I'm a man of God.
He's turned into the good book because it's so bad in Atlanta. And all Carolina is doing is taking advantage of teams that are down. I like this Carolina squad. This isn't an unlikable team. They've got
let you down last week, though, dude.
Don't care. It's a completely different animal that they're playing this week. They're playing a fraudulent a team that is incapable of meeting the moment or playing up to an opponent or better than an opponent. Atlanta's a better team than Carolina. But now, after 4 straight losses from the Falcons, I'm thinking there may not be that much better. 3.5 doesn't scare me. If Atlanta wins by a field goal, that's fine. Carolina still is going to be in this game till the very end.
All right, my next pick that I am taking, I'm going to go Chiefs minus 3.5 against the Broncos. I didn't know this. Patrick Mahomes is 15-1 in his career against the Denver Broncos. Now, I know that this isn't a money line pick, but when I saw that stat, I ran over when I was doing my prep for this. It was completely unrelated. I was looking for fun stats to do for videos for the Sports Geek TikTok account. Kind of like what I like to do is go on Next Gen Stats and see if there's any unique trends that I can find. And I saw this. I'm like, oh my God, if this line is close, I'm taking it. It is less than a touchdown. I know that there's a tiny bit of risk here that maybe they win by a field goal, but that is enough of like a constricted cushion there that I think that the Chiefs can win this thing by a touchdown or more. The Broncos have been a really solid team that has lived and died by their defensive performances. If there's a team that's going to be able to exploit some of their – actually, they don't really have many defensive weaknesses, but if there's a team that can at least stress them compared to who they faced recently, it's going to be the Chiefs. I also just think that we have seen Bo Nix has been this one quarterback early in his career where when he's facing off against a really talented defensive coordinator, a brilliant defensive coordinator, he usually plays at his worst. He's been up and down. This feels like a spot where maybe he doesn't completely let down, but he has a yucky performance, maybe throws a pick, then Mahomes does his thing, and more importantly, they're in a spot where they need to bounce back and they need to get back on track if they want to get a good seed in the playoffs.
I like this. I don't like taking the Broncos to cover hardly ever because I don't think Bo Nix is a quarterback that covers. I think he's a quarterback that wins. Completely different situation there. I like the Chiefs play. It's a fine pick, Joseph. My final play, 49ers 2.5 versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals still trotting out Jacoby Brissett. San Francisco 49ers. Oh, they're getting that boy back, Joe. They're getting that boy Purdy back this week. How nice
I didn't realize that
just dropped. I'm pretty sure Chef D just dropped it right before we dropped the hammer that Purdy is coming back. Yeah, Brock Purdy will return to San Francisco. Thank you, Adam Schefter. He will come back. Whether or not that's the good thing for San Francisco with how well Mac Jones has played in Purdy's absence, it's the system. We know it's the system. It's Shanahan. It's the offense. It's the defense firing on all cylinders. They're injured as hell. This doesn't matter. They still win. They still cover. They still beat bad teams. San Francisco, nice little small, reasonable line against Arizona, who, I mean, realistically could have like a top 8 pick up in the upcoming draft. They're so bad, and I don't see how they're going to keep on winning games. So I like San Fran in this one.
I mean,
I'm sure I should pick more favorites after last week, by the way. I'm sure that's what I should do.
I mean, I feasted last week off the Cardinals. So this was a pick that I was debating taking and was on my short list of extra picks, but it wasn't one of my favorite ones just because I just don't I don't know how much I really trust this 49ers team at times, because every time they look like they're surviving with all the injuries that they're enduring and not having a pass rush, they kind of come back down to earth. But this feels like an opportunity for them just to completely dog.
Just go get an easy Cardinals. One. I know it's not easy in the league, but just go get an easy
That's
one.
A line that you should rush to go grab, because I'm sure that is going to aggressively move with the Purdy news coming out. All right, my last one. I'm shocked that this line is this close. Cowboys minus 3.5 against the Raiders.
I know.
That was your last one?
I was looking at
this one doesn't make any sense to me. Is this some book hate on the on the Cowboys, that just because they're a little bit down this year that we got to claim that they're within striking distance of losing to the Raiders? 3.5 points, knowing how explosive this offense is. It is the best offense, one of the best offenses in the NFL. And this Raiders team cannot consistently put points on the board. Geno Smith is a walking turnover. Anyone who watched that Thursday Night Football game last week knows they are a just absolute dysfunctional rotting mess to watch. They're not, even though they're going up against this completely awful Cowboys defense that can't stop anything. I don't think that there's going to be some sudden surge that they figure it out this week.
No.
They traded away one of their best players, Jacoby Myers, and they completely sapped any offensive production that they have. I really feel confident here that with all those moves that they just make, that the Cowboys are going to come out pissed off and galvanized. The Cardinals game was bad, but this is a spot for them just to completely unload.
They need to beat the Raiders. I like this pick. I like the line. Cowboys defense is god-awful, though. I mean, they are really, really bad. Maybe Quinnen helps. They need Quinnen to help. They need him bad. They need something on the run game. I don't want to turn this on, and it's a Genty show. I don't think it will be. I think Dallas has it.
All right, now our probably will miss parlay, 6-leg parlay, as we said. Every single time that we do this, we each add a leg to the parlay. We can't take the leg off of the parlay, so we're forced to roll with it. And if you at home want to play along with us, feel free to do so. Put whatever additional lays that you want to put in there into the legs. Sean, I'll go to you first. What do you want to add first?
Perfect. Dallas money line minus 184. Rock solid there. I like it. It's not too atrocious. We're not looking at a money line that gets up into the minus 200s or 300s. Just enough value there. I love 180s. Just enough value right there in the pocket to give us a good launch point at leg one. Actually, this one we'll be closing with Monday Night Football. But
how'd they get it on Monday Night Football again, by the way? That's kind of crazy.
I don't know, man.
All right, my first one that I'm going to throw on here, if you would finish writing that in.
It's in.
My first one. Oh, wait, that's not what I want.
No, okay.
We can do this. I am going to throw in Jaguars +3 against the Chargers. Here is my logic. Actually, wait. I want to change that. I want to go Jaguars money line in this spot.
Okay.
All right. +132 odds. Here's the logic. This game, I almost went with the Chargers as one of my picks this week, and then it occurred to me 1:00 kickoff in Jacksonville. Unless there's something that I'm missing, that this is a neutral site game that I don't know about.
I don't think so.
Let me double check this.
I like this pick because the Chargers don't have a tackle, and the Jaguars have two very good defensive ends.
It's at Everbank. Okay, this is one of my favorite things to lean into, and I discovered this trend. I was listening to a podcast where they were interviewing a sleep specialist, and the sleep specialist brought up how oftentimes teams that are traveling with a time zone issue, it has a high impact on the performance of said team. So I love to, if you've got a West Coast team with a 1:00 kickoff, I'm going to grab the home team. If you've got a West Coast team that's playing a late night kickoff, even if it's an 8:00 kickoff, I'm going to take the West Coast team in that situation. Body clock is an advantage, and it is one thing that we constantly overlook. Not to mention the fact Chargers already played like total ass against the Giants already in a spot like this where they clearly looked extremely groggy. So we are going to add the Jaguars +132. What do you got?
I have a play for the game of the week this week. That is the Seahawks at the Rams, and that is
over on points.
Over on points. You're exactly right. 48.5. I like it. It's not sitting in the 50s. 48.5 between two offensive juggernauts. They have fine defenses, but first time meeting up this year against each other, I think it's fireworks. I think both of these teams know exactly where they're sitting in the NFL. I'm liking the fact that they're both running for the top of the NFC. It's going to be a bonkers game. I think a lot of points. I could see Charbonnet getting in, Walker getting in, maybe if they let him, if they decide he's been good enough to let in. We know they hate letting him do that. And the Rams are just so solid. So I think it's going to be a point fest.
I don't understand how this isn't over 50 points. I mean, that's also just a really good pick. I really like that one. I'm going to add in here. I am going to throw in Steelers -250 money line. Joe Burrow's not back yet. And I think that the Steelers are in absolute desperation mode. They need a bounce back victory. They need to get their feet underneath them. The line is 5.5. We just need them to win at -250 to add a safer leg. This feels like one of the safest ones that we can latch onto.
I like it. God, I worry about the Bengals getting hot, but I don't think it happens this
week. In what regard, though? They'll get hot when Burrow comes back. They're not going to do it right now.
I know. They got a Thanksgiving game, man. He's got to be back for that. That's going to be huge. My final addition to the lay here. Let's keep it safe. Let's keep it safe with rising team, former MVP, maybe the second worst team in football, because I already claimed that to be the Tennessee Titans. That's the Ravens, given 7.5 to the Browns. The Browns just are so bad on offense. And now that Lamar Jackson is back for Baltimore, it's over. Like there's no additional like explanation needed. It's the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson versus the Cleveland Browns with Dylan Gabriel. Find someone that's going to explain to me why it gets kept between one score. It won't. It's not possible.
I'm not opposed to that. I was considering taking that as one of my best bets this week. My last one that I'm throwing in here, Chiefs money line at -215. Already broke it down. Patrick Mahomes is 15-1 against the Denver Broncos. Perfect spot to throw in there, a money line pick for them just to win the game. That puts our parlay, our $1 parlay, at plus 2,554 odds to win $25.54. Bet has been placed. And if you're following along with us at home, you should hit place on that bet as well. All right, Sean,